Path Media. I was a minimum wage movie theater usher that made good and became a top earner in my network marketing company. Now, after 16 plus years in the profession, I'm finally teaching myself how to leverage the internet with online marketing and social media marketing to continue to grow and expand my business. My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so in a little bit of a different situation on the next handful of episodes, I'm currently on the road. I am at my mom and dad's place. So if you're watching this video, you'll see that I am not in my normal quote unquote studio situation. There will be also, if you're listening to the podcast, some background noise, people talking in the background, my mom and dad watching TV, dogs barking, much less controlled environment than my usual situation. But I definitely wanted to continue to get these episodes out and not miss a day, right? We're I think reaching, as of this recording, close to 170. And that really means so at about the 180 mark, between 180 and 185, we're going to be 6 months in on this amazing journey with Path of the Network Marketer, the podcast. So definitely making a lot of progress, learning a lot of stuff, and continuing to discover just new avenues and new aspects of this huge picture that is online marketing, that is social media marketing, influencer marketing, whatever you want to call it, right? Obviously, the next big step is the masterclass. If you haven't registered, go to ronniecruz.com/masterclass. I'll leave a link in the show notes of this episode, happening February 27th through March 1st. That's right. It's a 3-day masterclass, 1 hour a day, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, a lot of people were worried that they couldn't make those times. And so I want you to know that you can still register, because I will be granting access to the replay for anybody that registers, right? So even though you can't make those times, I don't expect everybody to be on there at 11 a.m. every day, and that's Eastern time, right? So people out west are really screwed. I don't expect you to be there every day for those sessions live. You can definitely tune into the replays if you register. Again, that's ronniecruz.com/masterclass. I will leave the link in the show notes. It's if you don't know what that is, what the class is going to be about, it's called Influencer Masterclass. It's going to really, I'm really just going to talk about what it looks like to be an influencer, what it looks like, and what it means to be a content creator in the modern age, in terms of being able to create a following, create an audience, and build an influence, and with the intention of growing and leveraging that influence, if you so choose, right? I think that's the power of everything that I've learned in the last 12 months. And I'm pouring it all into this masterclass that's happening February 27th through March 1st. So that out of the way, I know it's a lot. I want to get into branding, right? Shift gears a little bit and talk about branding. That conversation comes up a lot. And when I first started looking at the internet all those many years ago, I think 15 years at this point, when I first started my YouTube channel for business and really tried to get myself out there, it was all about branding yourself, right? The conversation was, if you're taking your business online, you got to brand yourself. So I really wanted to address that, because obviously in 15 years, that conversation has evolved and has shifted. I think when I first got into online marketing and putting myself out there in content creation, I thought branding, my notion and my concept of branding was very superficial, right? Like the logo, what it looks like, the design, right? The website, even like the funnels and how it flowed, right? And so that's not an incorrect answer. I mean, that's what we think of as consumers when we hear the word branding, right? We see the Nike logo, or we see the Apple, right? Like, it doesn't even have to say Apple. You just see the logo, you see the branding. You see what else? Coca-Cola. I mean, like, when we think of brands, we think immediately of we associate that immediately with the design, aspects of it, right? From a graphic design point, and the aesthetics. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. And again, that's not incorrect. However, it is the superficial part, right? It's only just the surface level of what branding really means. So in our space as content creators, what does branding mean? Okay, so yeah, well, obviously there's the superficial, but beyond that, we have to really kind of dig deeper, because if you have the most amazing design and graphics, et cetera, but you have no substance, then it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got good branding, right? So for me, branding beyond the aesthetics we really have to address and pay attention to and hone in on the substance that you're bringing to the table, right? And so when it comes to substance, it's really, yeah, what's your purpose? What's your meaning, right? What's the mission behind what you're trying to do, right? What are you trying to accomplish with the work that you're doing, right? What's the end goal? What do you stand for? What is the voice that you have? How are you going to be communicating these things? All of these characteristics and traits are what kind of create the brand, right? The brand is more of an idea and a concept than it is an actual brand, right? Yes, again, that's part of it, but that's only the superficial part of it, right? That's only the aesthetics. You really have to get down to figuring out who you want to be for the message you want to deliver and the purpose that you have with your business. Really, really important, like the character of what you're bringing to the table, your own character, right? Are you going to be a person of high character or otherwise, right? And like, this is no judgment. It's really up to you what you want to bring to the table, depending on the needs of your particular business and how you want to come across, right? Like there are influencers that run the gamut. Obviously, there's people that leverage the sheer volume of attention and eyes that are on them, and there are some that want to leverage their character, and again the value that they bring, the mission and the importance of that, right? So it's really up to you to decide. One thing I want you to understand is that, you got to be willing to commit to whatever that is, full on. And it's not that you can't change, but you got to really put yourself out there. Again, if you're tiptoeing around the substance that you're trying to bring to the table, with your branding and with again your mission, your purpose, your the meaning and the message. Then it's not going to ring true, and it's not going to land. It's just not going to land on your audience. So you have to be fully committed to whatever the branding you choose or evolve into, right? Like, it doesn't obviously necessarily happen overnight. You kind of develop that character, and not in the sense that you're portraying something other than you're not. Other than who you are, sorry. It's just like your overall character, who you are as a person, and what you're willing to display. That evolves and develops over time. But the main thing is you got to be willing to commit to that fully, or else it'll ring untrue and then it won't land. So that's my perspective on branding. Obviously, that can, there's no wrong or right answer as to which one to choose or what angle and what direction to go with your branding. It's really just a personal choice. Obviously with me, I mean, like, aesthetics is not a big deal. Like 99% of my videos that you see me in are either in a hoodie or a t-shirt, and I'm always wearing a beanie. So like, aesthetics is not important. The content for me is what I value the most, and so that I can deliver the message and therefore fulfill my purpose and my mission. Right, like that's primary. It may not be the case for everybody, right? Like, may not be the case for everybody, but you get to choose how you want to leverage these platforms and your online content with the branding that you decide to run with, right? So that's my message for this episode. Tune in tomorrow for more. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.